Good times, immortals. It's me, Sune, taking over today. Because, sometimes I get bored, and DJ can do whatever he wants to do. But I decided, why not open a tavern in the mortal realm and see what happens? Alright, let's dive in. Well, I'm Sune. You don't need to know what I may be.
Once upon a time in a world far, far away. In a realm ruled by dragons and magic. Well, actually, it was this land specifically. Not that far away. Let me start over. Once upon a time, somewhere in Gaia. Not that far away. There was a tavern. My tavern.
Not their tavern, it's my tavern now.
A place for anyone looking for an adventure or a quick refreshment. A place open to everybody. Even jackdaws, I suppose. But I'm not just your typical innkeeper. My drinks are infused with magic to aid ambitious adventurers on their quests. To make sure they always return victorious. Big shoes to fill, I know. Then again, what's the worst that could happen?
Indeed. What could happen with me around the reins? Well, I guess I should find a suitable voice for you. Hiya, Inkip. How's it going? All fine and dandy? Can't complain. How about you, Fable? All fine and dandy? Yes. Yes, all fine and dandy. I had such an exciting day. Really, really exciting. Did you go on an adventure? Even better. I took a walk around the grove and then I replanted a mushroom that had fallen over. Then I patiently waited for it to turn into a mushroom or a monster. Well, into a mushroom monster. Or a mushroom mimic. Maybe a gnome. We have another visitor. Why, hello, Nampy. I guess I can grace you with my presence. Nampy, don't you know who I am? All these mortals and their ignorances. DJ's off on his own adventure. I am Sune. I'm not annoyed, just surprised you didn't know who I am. Or a mushroom mimic, maybe a gnome. Did it? No, but I got to take another walk around the grove. How was it? Great, I got to see the same stones, the same trees, the same amaranthine hydra guarding the entrance to Avalon, the same moss. I even got to water the asters. They didn't really need it, but I was there, so... Sounds very exciting. Who am I kidding? My life is as excited as a russet nut. Nuts are healthy. Very thrilling in sauces or as a snack. There are various types of nuts: walnuts, peanuts, hazelnuts. I'm allergic. Oh. Oh, really now? An adventurer allergic to nuts? Oh dear. I didn't know that. Oh, no worries. I mean, I never told you. And hey, at least something would happen if I ate a nut. Just not something very fun. Anaphylactic shock and all that. Does that count as an adventure? No, I think that counts as a mistake. So what you're saying is that you're missing some spice. Oh, no. I have a very sensitive stomach. I don't think chilies would help me much. Though I'm very good at growing phoenix chilies. I was talking about the spice in your life. Oh, that's what you meant. Well, yes, exactly. That's it. There's no chili flakes or no garlic, no dragons. Ah, another mortal stopped by my lovely tavern today. Welcome, Inari. Hopefully you know who I am. Unlike some other mortals. Hopefully you have an offering if you want a drink from here. Just a lot of salt. I'm like a bland soup. Ah, so a classic case of boredom, I see. Do you know that feeling when nothing exciting is going on in your life? Like, life isn't bad, but also not particularly fun? What should I say? I have choices. Confine me into choices. Have you tried visiting a circus? Have you tried adding some zest to your soup? Inari, if you have one more, then I'll take it as a deal. I'll take a third one as an offering. And then I would ask, what kind of drink would you be looking forward to today? And Nampy, since you didn't know who I am, your offering will cost double the price. And if you can't pay by sundown, well, your firstborn will be taken from you. Good. Well, then do you offer up to me these fries? Have you tried adding some zest to your soup? Huh? Drama, buzz, excitement, something fiery. Go to the theater or a gala, arrive in a hot air balloon. A hot air balloon? Don't they fly up really high? Yes, I think that's the point. I'm afraid of heights and of people and of actors. But apart from that, I'm trying. I tried singing, but what is singing if not telling of a tale? How can I sing of things if I've never lived through anything? What do you mean? But Inari, if you offered me these offerings, what kind of drink would you like in this tavern today? Well, day in, day out, I live in the same green soup of routines. Sure, I have my forest and I look after it, but I want to get out there and see something. Oh, Nappy, you dare to set your feet into my tavern, not know who I am, not make an offering, and then you dare redeem something for DJ in my presence. I'm so disappointed. Make that 2 of your firstborns at this point for this disgrace. But I'll make sure that DJ gets it done at some point. You can't demand anything of me, for I am not DJ. You have no power in this realm. But for making that transgression, I increase it to a 3rd firstborn at this point. And Anari wants a blue drink that tastes like watermelon. Okay. Let me see. I have some blue somewhere. It's these blue crystals. I think they're called sugar. A pinch of that. Add some electrolytes. Throw in this thing you mortals call in this realm a blueberry. And then but just strip off the blue and not take out the inside. Okay. And then tastes like watermelon. Well, we talking about actual watermelon or the artificial flavor where it's a little bit sour, but very much so sweet? Okay, I think I got something there. Shake it, shake it. Imagination is the key. Got it. Well, I think I got it prepared. And here, in front of you, Nari, since you are sitting somewhere at this tavern table, probably not on the screen currently, but in front of you, you have a somewhat hourglass pear-shaped drink. It's in a little glass, and on top is a little like, how do I describe it? It's an umbrella in the design of like a watermelon slice. And it's very much blue, but the bottom part is a lighter sky blue hue. And as it goes up towards the top, it becomes as blue as the waning sunlight from dusk. And some ice, because you need some ice. And there are chunks of these things of seeds. I believe they're called watermelon. But they're not colored normally like you would have in your realm. They're also blue. Enjoy. And let me know when you take your first sip, because then you'll experience something you may or may not know. Sure, I have my forest and I look after it, but I want to get out there and see something. Like, for example, listen to this song I started writing. I wish to be a hero, slaying mighty drakes. I wish to meet a pretty nymph resting by the lakes. A pretty nymph. That's pretty daring. That sounds like a good song opening to me. Let's go with a nymph. That's pretty daring. Of course it is. Of course it is. That's the point. Finding them enjoying themselves in the water. The sun shining through the tree tops, making the stream glisten in fragmented light. A divine beauty. I would love to sing about the exciting magical things I encounter. But to be honest, the most exciting thing in my life is coming to your tavern and discovering new drinks. Ooh. I see. We got some character information. We get to learn about who this Fable is. Fable Verafina. Kin and elf, age 110. Pronouns they, them. Class Ranger. Background Ashen Grove. Alignment neutral good. And the Arcana of the Hanged Man. Fable Verafina is a ranger taking care of the Ashen Grove. Their sweet, gentle soul, and a regular at the Wayfarer's Inn. They dream of being an adventurer, but are troubled by severe anxiety about, well, everything really. Their nut allergy probably doesn't help either. Interesting. But, to be honest, the most exciting thing in my life is coming to your tavern and discovering new drinks. Not a lot of songs you can write about that. I wouldn't mind a jingle. Also, Inari, your drink, it is melting. It's best enjoyed pretty soon. I'll think of one. Can I mention nymphs? I'd prefer it if you didn't. Okay, maybe one day I'll get to offer them their own jingle. In the meantime, can I offer you a drink? Yes, I'd love a drink. The usual? Yes, please. That means a swift strike, in case you forgot. Thank you for the reminder, Fable. It's my favorite. It always makes you feel like a featherlight nymph floating on the waves of a sunny lake. Do you want to be with a nymph or be the nymph? Both? But mostly I want a swift strike. Message received. Although... I was wondering... I've been coming to your tavern for so long, and I still don't know anything about how you make your drinks. Oh, Inari, what a daring move. Glass and all? Well, if that is your choice, well... First let me know, and then I'll tell you what happens. Could you show me? Yes, tutorial. No. Ah. Well, Inari. You see your drink, you don't remove the umbrella toothpick. You get a light pang a stabbing from the umbrella. Well, overall, you think that your mortal mind, after chomping into lots of glass, would shatter and be very bloody. It's not the case. The moment you bite into the glass, you taste sweetness. You realize this glass is not glass made of sand, but glass made of sugar. But how does it hold the liquid so well rather than dissolve? You do not know. But when you crunch into this lovely drink, surprisingly, it tastes like watermelon. But also surprisingly, it's a lot more tart than you expected. And it starts to taste of dreams. Dreams that are slowly dissipating away. And maybe a light settling of setting seas ablaze. But what do I know? Well, I hope you enjoyed your drink. Now, can I have my offerings of french fries? Even if they're cold and hard. Yes, tutorial. Really? Yes. What should I do? Do I need to put on an apron or summon a familiar? How do I summon a familiar? Just follow me. Good. I will take them. And Inari, what you see is Sune just grabbing them from you. Well, not grabbing them from you, but you see the french fries glow in your hands. They disappear. And you don't know where they may be, but they're with Sune somewhere. Welcome to my drink mixing nook. So this is what it looks like back here. Hello, Andu. Careful, I haven't fed him yet. Ah, yes, Andu. Good little creature. Where do we start? Well, usually I start by figuring out what my patrons want. To make sure I don't forget what they ordered, I take notes in my journal. Let's have a look. Order up. Oh, you pinned my order. The Frosted Lagoon Swift Strike. Spoken Heart, Southern Brawler, Sparkling Nebula. The Frosted Lagoon protects you from any physical and spiritual harm, and cools you down on even the hottest of summer days. It even offers additional UV protection. What more could you ask for? I did. If I want to look for specifics, I check my detailed notes. I do keep a log, just in case. When I'm sure I know what was asked of me, I browse my recipes. Can't you just freehand mix something to see what sticks? No, I like to mix and match for a more varied result. But the right balance is crucial, so I stick to my recipes. When I've settled on one, I can use the chalk to draw it on the board. What if you picked the wrong one? I can either erase it, or with the sponge, or just pick a different recipe. My ingredients are stored in the 5 bottles on the right. There's dexterity, intelligence, defense, strength, and charisma. I think dexterity sounds the tastiest. I had a feeling you might say that. If I mess up or want to redo my drink for any other reason, I can simply feed my mistakes to undo. Once I'm done, I ring the bell to activate the primordial vortex. Actually, I don't need to bore you with the magical details. Just try making the drink. You've got this. Alright. So, the drink that I need to make is the Swift Strike. But first, let's read these words and names. Spoken Heart, Southern Brawler, Sparkling Nebula. Spoken Heart, sweet and sparkling in taste. The Spoken Heart will bring your deepest feelings bubbling to the surface. Your newfound sincerity, confidence, and many heartfelt words will work wonders in boosting your persuasive abilities. A charismatic boost great for bards and emotionally repressed individuals. Southern Brawler. The Southern Brawler is the perfect combination of offense and defense, dominated by the piquant aroma of Ignis. This drink is served fiery hot or cold, depending on the kind of fight you're looking for. Sparkling Nebula. The distilled flavors of the cosmos of Sparkling Nebula fizzes on your tongue and rewires your synapses, inspiring great ideas and even greater stories. Storytellers and scholars alike can broaden their horizons with this taste of the stars. Alright, the Swift Strike. Be a leaf on the wind with the Swift Strike. This must have for any dexterity devoted adventurer grants you agility, speed, and remarkable accuracy. Oh, and a tasty drink. With an order this delicious, you'll exceed any dwarf's kill count in no time. Alright, recipe has been drawn. So, I need a lot of dexterity, a hint of intelligence. Or is this charisma? No, this is charisma. Charisma's here. That's a bit of swordplay. Let me look at this real quick. I see. Okay. Well, let's try it. Perfect, excellent. A splidge of this. And a little bit of defense. Ah, perfect, excellent. I'm magnificent. Now, where do I pour this? First step, make my first string. Wow, it actually does teleport. Of course it does. What did you think was happening? Did you think this was out of my realm of control? I thought you were just very good at sleight of hand.
I see. Well, give your creation a taste.
That's delicious. I made that?
You made that?
Well, thank you for showing me the ropes.
Thank you for your enthusiasm. These adventures you dream of, aren't you scared they'd be the end of you?
Maybe, but how would I know if I never try?
Do you actually want to try?
Well, yes, I want to tell great stories, but
But what?
never mind.
Ah, looks like we have an edgelord here. A classic rogue, if I may assume. How can I help you? A drink. For you? Right. What kind? Drinkable. Very specific, thank you. How about a spoken heart? Some charisma couldn't hurt. Sure, whatever. Alright. So, they want a little spoken heart. Order up. Draw the recipe. Alright, we need 3 splashes of charisma. A little bit of attack. And a smidge of defense for this one. Ah, order up. Excellent. This should be digestible, maybe even tasty. Well, pick your poison. Well, then again, I couldn't run this place if I started poisoning everyone. Thanks. Almost washes away the memories of that banshee haunting the lonesome lagoon at night. And her bone-shattering song of sorrow. Almost. Rumor unlocked. Song of bones and water. Ooh, what is this? A banshee is haunting the lonesome lagoon, wailing a song that will shatter your bones. Hopefully hyperbole. I see. Alright. Brooding type, I see. What are you thinking about, Fable?
Just dreams.
Yours or someone else's?
Mine. Other people seem to have the courage to follow theirs. Why can't I be like that?
Isn't that up to you?
I wish it was. My brother says my dreams are a fool's errand, that I'm running away from where I belong. We are rangers, Fable. We belong to the woods, like the stream that ripples down the mountain, or the birds in the trees. We keep the balance. It's what we're meant to do.
And is that what you want to do?
Yes, no, not really. I want to experience things outside the safe borders of the forest. I want to live a life so full of adventure, boredom will feel like bliss. I want to be brave and strong. And I want to sing songs about my adventures that make other people yearn for that same freedom. Of course, I could never leave the Ashen Grove behind forever. It's my home. But there's nothing wrong with going away from time to time, right? I mean, my brother looks after the grove, as well as my sisters, and they'd be fine without me.
Then you should do what your heart desires.
Will it stop aching then?
I think so, yes.
What if... It's wrong to leave, though. What if destiny never meant for me to leave?
What if it did?
That would be a dream come true.
Be your own genie, Fable. Your adventures start with you.
Thank you, Innkeeper. You really are the most exciting part of my day.
It seems to be night in the mortal realm. And who might you be today? Greetings, traveler. How may I help you? You own this establishment, innkeep? Last time I checked. With whom do I have the pleasure? The name's Carolyn. You can call me Care or Lynn. I couldn't care less. Nice to meet you, Care. Lynn, what can I do for you? Perhaps something to drink. You do the things with the quest, right? So they say. Do you want one? You can have a look at my notice board. No. No quest for me, but I may have one for you, or your notice board. Tell me more. Heard of a werewolf making trouble up in Tavern. Terrorizing farmers, tearing sheep apart, the whole program. A werewolf? That's news to me. These mortal realms seem to never have enough peace in the world. There's always one thing or another. The Vugakin Carolyn told me about a werewolf who was roaming around Trigorin, a potential threat to villagers. Well, I guess that would harm my business and, well, sometimes I need to make some money. Because whatever I offer, mortals don't seem to like as much. Listen. To me too. Didn't see one in almost a decade, and that was far south in Erove. Been wondering if it's the same one just moving up like a nomad. Nomadi? The werewolf previously has been seen in Erove, a southern town. A nomad, or do they have a goal in mind? Interesting. I thought the werewolf hype died along with that one romance novel. You mean the one with the vampires? Think so? Nah, that just split society into two camps. Team werewolf or team vampire. Which one are you, innkeep? Am I team werewolf or team vampire? Well, I am most related to a fox spirit, but I guess I must be with my furry friends of werewolves. Is it the fur or the pecs? Neither. A questionable experience with the other camp more so. And you do not need to know what you do not need to know. I'm itching to ask for details. Don't. Because you don't have much to offer. How about you? Wouldn't you like to know? Yes. That's why I asked. Keep guessing. Has anyone ever told you that you could pass as a werewolf? Yes, all the time, at least twice a day. Only downside of looking like a wolf is getting mistaken for one. I see. Is that why you don't want to take care of the werewolf yourself? Yes. No. I'm just afraid he might look a little too much like my Uncle Dragon. Would feel bad slaying that fella. You know, hunched back, hairy, crooked teeth. Is that a werewolf or just Uncle Dragon? You can't tell. Same felt befell Aunt Olga. I'm sorry to hear that. Nah, that hag had it coming. Never fall behind your grooming schedule, or before you know it, the next wannabe Von Helsing will strike you down with a silver arrow. do the Von Helsings also hunt werewolves? Don't know, don't care. Enough to check. Either way, the southern werewolf, yeah? Right. Anything else that might help others get done with it rather swiftly? Fetch. Pardon me? Pardon me. Should they get into a dangerous situation, they'll just have to start playing fetch. That works. On any dog, trust me. A werewolf's secret weakness is playing fetch. Apparently, no dog can resist the urge to run after a stick. Interesting. Good to know. Thanks, Carolyn. It's not that hard. Either Carolyn, Care, or Lynn. Gotcha, Lynn. Gotcha, Carolyn. Gotcha, Care. Alright, Chief, you got a name, or is it just Innkeep? Just Innkeep for now. Although some call me Sune. Shh. Playing hard to get, I see. Well, Innkeep, then before I venture on, you've got a drink for me? Of course, what would you like? I'll take something powerful, something with a whole lot of strength. And don't you dare give me any of that watered-down muck instead. I see. Something strong and powerful, I see. What would you like? A southern brawler? Then most likely they'd want a southern brawler. And chat, if you have the offering, I'm willing to make you a drink as well. Just feel free to ask, and I shall oblige. I have time for it. A smidge of this, a large smidge. Keep pouring. Yes, and pour. Excellent. And then a smidge of this, and a smidge of this. Excellent. Ding ding. A drink with 0 water as requested. Not bad, just what I was craving. Thanks. Where will you head from here? Perhaps back west, though through the Ashen Grove, got some business to take care of. What kind of business? Personal business. Care to elaborate? No. But you won't stop asking until I do, will ya? No. My cousin claims her crops are being stolen by undead snails. Oh no, not the undead snails all over again. Obviously, I'm pretty sure she's hallucinating. An unusual amount of undead seem to be haunting the West. Undead snails are being accused of eating crops. This apparently poses a problem. But I did hear some folks complaining about an undead uptick in the West, so might as well humor her. And make sure she hasn't turned into an undead snail herself. Something like that, yeah. It's odd, ain't it? Resurrecting the dead. It's certainly unconventional. That's one way to put it. I think there's not much use digging up the past. It's just going to open wounds you staple shut. Or eat your face. The past haunts everyone willing to listen. Huh. Would you mind talking like a normal person? I ain't exactly up for philosophizing. You started this conversation, and I have free rein to talk about whatever I'd like. And I'm ending it. Alright, well, then, If you find any more rumors for me or need aid, don't shy away from coming back. I'm more of a lone wolf, don't do groups, but sure, for more work, I'll be back. I'll be waiting. Carolyn Petoniak, kin Vukakin, age 36, pronoun she/her, class beast slayer, background Erove, alignment chaotic good, arcana the chariot. Kara is a strong and fearless beast slayer with a taste for strong drinks, big swords, and even bigger muscles. She despises small talk in any way or form, and understandably keeps her distance from werewolves. Wouldn't like being mistaken for one either. Interesting. Speaking of rumors, you know how to turn them into proper quests, right? Don't want them to go to waste? No, I do not. I could use some help. I've got it, thanks. I could use some help. Fine, I guess I've got a few minutes. Let me see your setup. This is where I sort all the rumors I've collected. I also keep them written down in my journal so I don't forget. Smart. Think the best next step would be sorting the match and snippets on your quest page. Just drag them over and make sure they're all for the same quest. Otherwise, you'll end up confusing adventurers. Once you're done, select the quill of yours and it'll be written up. Got it? Got it. Thank you for your help, Care. Put it on my tab. That's not how that works. Good night to you, too. Alright then, let's assemble this quest. A werewolf on detours, a reticent Vukakin passed by the wayfarers and reporting a werewolf making their way to Tavern from Erove. They pose a potential threat to both helpless sheep and the villagers. Apparently the werewolves love playing fetch. Are you brave enough to take on this quest and save Tavern from this werewolf mayhem? So I need 3 rumors each time. I see. Ah, there you go, little one. Sweeping, mundane tasks of mortals. Well, I wouldn't do it myself. I just snap my fingers. And it's magically getting done. Ah. Act 1, The Wayfarer's Inn. 2, Prelude to Bravery. 58th of the Wake. Ooh, but let me check out my lovely adornment of a place for a little bit. And check on how everybody else is. Daytime. Oh, you want to take my quest, Fable? Well, alright. What do you have there, Fable?
I found this on your notice board. It says a werewolf is terrorizing Triggerin. Is that true?
It is indeed.
Have you sent anyone after it yet? Maybe that hooded guy from yesterday.
Not yet.
What kind of hero are you, looking for?
One who knows their way around difficult terrain. Woods even, preferably. One who is good with a bow. One who tells me they want the quest.
I am good with a bow.
Yes, Fable.
And I know my way around the woods.
I know, Fable.
And maybe I want the quest.
Just maybe.
No, no, no. Not just maybe. Since yesterday, all I've been thinking about... all I've been able to think about is you telling me to follow my heart. And then I step into your tavern and the quest practically jumps out at me, and I think... Hey, there's a start for an adventure. It's near a forest, you know? Forest. You live in a forest. And werewolves are basically just normal wolves, but slightly scarier. Because they are also human, but you've talked to humans before. And you got silver arrows for your birthday last year, and they're just collecting dust in your room. And I thought I could ask you if anyone had taken it yet.
And then?
I didn't think that far ahead.
I see.
Or rather, I did. But then I thought, what if I take the quest, then I have to go on the quest. And then I have to fight the werewolf, or talk to the werewolf, which is worse. Because what if the werewolf doesn't like me, and what if when I try to shoot it with my silver arrow, I miss and shoot a tree instead? And then the tree would be mad at me. But it wouldn't really matter because I'd be dead because of the werewolf.
That took a quick turn.
So maybe I should just put the quest back.
Fable,
Yes?
do you want me to tell you to take the quest?
Maybe.
I can't make decisions for you.
Neither can I. Whenever I have to make a difficult decision, it's like I freeze in place. And suddenly, I'm unable to move until someone makes a decision for me. Like a slime. A frozen slime. A frozen slime that can't move.
I've met slimes less anxious than you.
You've met slimes?
My tavern is open to everyone.
Oh, right. What do slimes drink?
Water, more slime, bones.
You sell bones?
Only to slimes.
Ah, maybe you'll be able to add my bones to your menu soon. You'll just have to pick them up from the forest floor.
Fable, I believe you to be at least more competent enough than just to perish in the forest you know so well. I think I'd have a hard time convincing a werewolf to give up free bones. Why are you so anxious, Fable?
In general,
I think answering that would take up more time than we have to spare.
about taking the quest, it seems to me...
Wrong voice. About taking the quest, it seems to me that you want to take it, but you're trying to talk yourself out of it instead.
Oh, well... I do want to go on that quest. Werewolves may not be the best muses, but it would make a good start for a song, right? The prelude of an epic, Fable, the protector of the woods, the world, the worms.
The worms?
They seem like they need protecting. But every time I think about embarking on a quest, and I start to think more deeply about what might happen, all my bones start to shake and I feel dizzy.
Is there something making you feel like you might fail?
Well, aside from the bloodthirsty werewolf,
We don't know what it's thirsty for. It might prefer orange juice.
it might. Well, heroes have history, right? Great feats they can look back on to prove their bravery. Inspirational adventures that remind them of the light in the dark. I have the opposite of that. Great mistakes and epic regrets. Like the Mari Morgan incident. Or my first encounter with the Amaranthine Hydra. Or the reason why nobody wants to spend time with me.
The Mary Morgan incident. Your first encounter with the Hydra. Why does no one want to spend time with you?
Because I'm unlucky. I'm unlucky. And whenever good things are supposed to happen, I ruin them. No matter how easy things might be, nothing seems easy enough for me. Imagine there's one nail sticking out in the whole kingdom. Everyone passed by it except for me. I'd get caught on it and rip my code.
Did that happen once?
Once, I wish it had been just once. It seems like my life only follows the path that's the most embarrassing. Or dangerous. Or dangerously embarrassing. The curse of ill luck follows me wherever I go, like an adventuring companion who secretly wants to kill you. No one wants to hang out with someone who naturally attracts bad things.
You're too harsh on yourself, Fable.
Am I? See, just last week I wanted to gather fresh flowers. Daffodils are blooming and they make for a nice bouquet, you know. Or hair accessories. They always calm my anxiety when I have them around. But me, being me, I confused them with their evil twin, the weeping Amaryllis. Now guess what I spent the whole day afterwards doing?
Weeping?
Like a baby, all day long. When I plucked them, they released their spores and I started crying. I suddenly felt all the sadness of the world rush over me. I've never been so heartbroken.
I'm sorry. That sounds horrible, Fable.
It was. Between the tears and the sobs, I managed to make a tincture out of hogweed. It eased the pain, but the tears wouldn't stop until dawn. I'm so silly sometimes.
The Mari Morrigan incident, your first encounter with the Hydra. Let's check my first encounter with the Hydra.
Well, just a day after it arrived to guard the portal to the dream plane Avalon, I wanted to be polite and neighborly, so I brought it home some homemade biscuits. Just the biscuits. I burned them a little in the oven. But I thought since it has fire breath, it wouldn't mind. So I approached the Amaranthine Hydra. And I have this whole speech prepared about how I'm looking forward to having around. And how its green scales match my hat. But it was so tall and intimidating, I forgot all about what I wanted to say. So I just set down the biscuits and smiled awkwardly. It looked at my biscuits and then at me and it said, "By the rivers of the stars stands a man who reads the fragments of the past. Some things are as sturdy as the gilded ice. Some things as changing as Leviathan sea. All chimeras hate mice. All hydras love tea." I thought to myself, wow, the Amaranthine Hydra has given me a riddle.
According to the Amaranthine Hydra, a chimera's hatred for mice is a universal truth. Or maybe it would just rhyme with ice. Who can say?
A quest. Maybe this shall be my first adventure. But I couldn't figure out the answer, so I left. And I tried to solve the riddle for 3 days. I was too ashamed to set foot in front of it again, lest it know that I was not worthy of its wisdom. But then, I couldn't stand it anymore, and I ran back, apologized, and begged for the answer. Turns out, that's just how it speaks. It wanted tea.
Did you get it some?
Yes.
Then you completed its quest.
3 days late. If it needed an antidote, it would have died.
Would haves are about as useful as an antidote when you haven't been poisoned. They change nothing.
I suppose you have a point.
The Mari Morgan incident.
Yes, the Murray Morgan incident. That was probably the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me. Do we really have to talk about that?
Only if you want to.
Alright, but just because it's you. An adventuring party was on their way passing through the Ashram Grove. Due to the Sylvan spirits, it gets fairly foggy at night. And the fog bears great danger to anyone who isn't acquainted with the spirits who call it home. So they wanted guidance from a local ranger. A merchant up in Tregerin recommended me. I agreed to help, of course. My first adventure. Yay. I had no riddles to get confused about it either. I was so excited, but also very, very nervous, so of course, it had to go wrong. I think it was the nerves.
Why were you so nervous?
New people, seasoned adventurers, one stronger than the next, all in shining armor and armed to the teeth. I wanted to leave a good impression, but my bad luck got in the way.
How did it go wrong?
I felt their condescending glares on my back as I walked them through the woods. Of course, I don't know whether they actually glared, but my fear got a hold of me and I led them astray. I must have blackened out. I've never got lost in the woods before, but this time I did. I couldn't see well. There was blood rushing in my ears and I felt dizzy. So for some stupid reason, I led them along a path no one should ever take. Past the riverbanks of the Shivermere, home to the Mary Morgan. You know of the Mary Morgan, yes? The raffle spirit that's known to drown men. I'm not sure if she really differentiates between genders, though. For some stupid reason, I led them right into her arms. I got scared in the end.
In the riverbanks of the Shivermere hides the Mary Morgan, a raffle spirit prone to drowning men, women, and everything in between. I see.
They had to save me. They fought the creature and we finally found a way out when dawn broke. And the fog kept away. I couldn't look at them for the rest of the journey. And I suddenly bid my farewells when we reached the other side of the Ashram Grove. I was too embarrassed to speak. I'm sure I'm still the laughingstock of every one of their gatherings. How am I ever supposed to set foot in the adventuring world again? To be fair, it could have been worse. I could have led them right into the arms of the wyvern chimera that resides in the Quag Mangrove. They say it has a taste for adventurers.
A wyvern chimera resides in the Quag Mangrove. Adventures beware, you might be on its menu. But you didn't.
But I didn't.
You seem to be very insecure. I think that's the biggest problem here.
But how can I not be, when everything I touch falls apart?
You know that isn't true.
You're right. I'm a great gardener. Everything grows around me, but I seem to just get smaller. Except zucchinis. I can't figure out how to grow those. So in a way, I'm like a zucchini. I'm insecure because I don't know what I'm capable of.
You'll have to figure it out then.
Like, on a quest?
For example,
Don't you think I'm a little underleveled?
do you think that will change by sitting around?
I guess not. Someone has to help those people, right? What if I don't and then no one else comes around? What if I'm the only chance they got? But what if I'm not? What if there's someone better?
The best thing you can do is try to help them.
So,
So what if another adventurer swings by and they're able to make the situation better? Isn't that a good thing? 4 hands are better than 2, and who knows, you might even end up forming a party.
oh,
And besides, if it's a perfect hero they want, they'll be waiting forever.
I didn't think about it like that. Maybe I shouldn't decide to give up before I even try. After all, I am a very fast runner, so if I screw up, I can just run away real quick.
That's the spirit.
Okay, I, Fable, a great gardener and, future hero,
charmer of nymphs, am going to embark on this quest and save the villagers. And I shall return victorious. Did I do it right? Yes, good job. I leave the quest in your capable hands, brave adventurer. Would you like a drink to aid you on your journey? Yes. Do you have something that can make me more nimble and quiet so that the werewolf won't see me coming? Something with a lot of dexterity? If I want to fight it, I'm going to need that surprise round advantage. Are you something that can help me with diplomacy? Perhaps it's just a hungry lost lichen after all, and it only needs a pep talk and a hug. Maybe we could even be friends. But I would need something with a lot of charisma for that. I will leave the choice up to you. Just make sure you don't pick a random recipe. Please keep it to one of those abilities I asked for. Remember, your choice can influence my fate. It could change the entire outcome of this quest. But of course, I'm sure you're already aware of that. Sorry for backseat mixing. Oh. So, I was just here to enjoy and make drinks, but apparently I can control people's fates if I really wanted to. That's an interesting choice of things I can do. What am I doing? Putting that down. So, they want lots of charisma. What if I tried a recipe that I haven't made yet? So I can only choose one or the other. I see. I kind of want a Fable to have a friend. Just something different. There you go, Andu. Have a lovely drink. I am curious what would happen if I made a drink of a funny mixture. Like, would it work? Ah, so it has to be a recipe that fits. I see. Well, ding ding. Let's have some charisma and see what happens. This should do it. Thank you. I feel much better, braver, barming. But no, wait. That sounds like I'm tending to a farm. There are a lot of farmers in Trigerin. Well, there are a lot of farmers in Trigerin. And I'm gonna protect them all. Or talk to them until they feel better. I'm sure they could use that too. Just hope I don't have to fight anyone. No, I'll be okay because of your help. I'll be able to talk myself out of any situation. Thank you again. This drink gave me the courage I needed to get started. You got this, Fable. I'll try. Have some faith in yourself. Okay, I got this. Much better. Oh,
I almost forgot. I was thinking about how much your words helped me yesterday, and how I'd have to thank you properly if I ever did end up taking a quest, so
So?
I brought you some phoenix chilies from my garden. They seemed like something you might enjoy. They possess natural magic properties. If you plant them in the right soil, they can grow to be a fire resistant. And consumption
Consumption can pass that on to mortals like us? Well, that's my secret, though.
Exactly. I thought they might go well with your drinks.
They will. Thank you, Fable. That's a very thoughtful gift. Since I'm waiting for another shipment of infusions in a few days, I'll take a look at them all together later.
Of course. I'm glad you like them. Maybe I'll order a drink with them next time. But first, I have to complete my quest. I'll see you post-victory.
I hope Fable will be alright. I wonder what path their fate took. Maybe a zesty one. I hope I was able to help. Oh, well, hello there again. You again. Me again. And who are you? Someone who wants a drink. What kind? Drink. Yes, I get it. Could you try being more specific? That smoking hot one tasted fine. Thank you. Another smoking hot. I am curious what happens if you make the wrong drink for the person. Will it change something for them as a creation? Well, who knows? A smoking hot just for you. Maybe it will help you find more words. Good attempt. Perfectly drinkable. Might make me come back for more. Might not. Thank you. Enjoy. Charming. Oh, looks like you two have gotten both slimed. Careful, you'll step on my cape. Oh, shush. Greetings, travelers. How may I help you? Ugh, not another one of those empty babblers. Would you prefer a different line? I can confidently say I'm all but empty. That's what they all say. Seems they've given you some more dialogue options than most, but that don't convince me just yet. I'm sorry, I don't understand. Course not. Probably forgot to give you enough intellect. Would you surprise me if there actually was a brain inside that skull? I'm sure there is. Oh, well, have you checked? No, but I can assure you I'm different from your average background character. Wink, wink. Sure. I must agree, you look much more delicious than they usually do. Chat may be the divinity, but they don't know that. Oh, thank you, though I should let you know I'm not on the menu. Don't worry too much about him, he's a tad quirky. I see. That thing on your shoulder, is it quirky too? What thing? Ah, my cape! Your cape. That's not his cape. That gorgling fella on his shoulders and ooze or what's left of it. And the rest of it is on you? Aye. Pretty tough to clean off. May I ask how that happened? You just did. Maybe I can offer you two a drink in exchange for the story of your names. Yes, I love stories. Well then, may I have your name? No, but I shall tell you it to you. I'm Sir Alphonse Louis Frederick Duquette du Sang. It's long for Kyle. Kyle? Kyle. Well, Kyle, what kind of drink can I offer you? Blood. Oh, if you're out, I would also settle for something that tastes like blood. Or looks like it. Red is my favorite color. I'll look for something red with red in it. With red in it. Well, this will be red. So a large smidge of you. Well, do you want to pour yourself in? Ooh, I see. We can pet Andu. How adorable. Who's little good Andu? I wonder if there's anything else I can click on. Well. Order up. Some almost blood for you, sir. Oh, thank you very kindly. That looks delicious. It also tastes delicious, very alive. Maybe as a chaser you could let me have a bite? No. Okay. And to whom may I offer the second drink? Rhea Frost Grip. Nice to meet. Yeah, Skip. Just serve me something strong, something that feels durable, tough like a mountain, or the caves of Ur. One of those frost lagoons looks close enough. Coming right up. I see. Pour in a lovely cup. And a smidge of this. And a smidge of this. Voila. A frosted lagoon. A taste of Ur just for you, valued customer. Number 2. Oh, are you hitting the placeholder text? Let me try. I see you are many things, but not a liar. Tastes like a pile of rocks, just how I like it. So, Rhea, Kyle, what about that ooze-filled story? Fine. Yes, you've earned it. Alright, picture me, deep in the mountains of the Dovima, with my trusty axe, and a good drink by my side. There I was, minding my own business, digging for good stuff, you know? Hit a gold vein earlier, and deemed myself the luckiest dwarf of them all time. Had a real big old pile of gold. Then suddenly this big ooze comes along and slurp. But it was. This is a very boring story. Perhaps we could go looking for my cape now. It's nearly sunrise. And? The sun kills you. Oh, right. Did the ooze also eat the cape? A quirky vampire is looking for his cape. He seems a bit confused. Want to go for a stroll in the sun? Yes. No. Oh. Anyways, I wouldn't call myself the best warrior, but When that ooze slurped me good, I had to do something. So I took me shovel and dug and hit and dug and hit until there was nothing left but of the ooze anymore. Well, almost nothing. So, did you dig out your gold? Silly fool! She dug out me! Me! And guess what he was clinging on to? Gold. Oh yes, a big gold nugget. Should be enough to get me to Peruvia. And perhaps he can even get me a dandy new cape. I don't think so. Sunshine, we had a deal. Ah, we did. Please allow me to ask a question. What was that deal again? I get you to Peruvia so you can participate in your fancy vampire banquet, and in return, I get the gold. But what about my cape? Rhea Frostgrip. Kin, dwarf, age 175. Pronoun she, her. Class blacksmith. Background alignment lawful neutral. Arcana the world. Rhea is a hot-headed dwarf and pretty rough around the edges. She's not a fan of meaningless copy-paste NPC talk, whatever any of that means, and seems to have caught herself a lost vampire while digging for gold. Unfortunately, or so she claims, she is now stuck with him. Kyle, Alphonse Louis Frederic Duquette Dusang. Kin, vampire. Age, who knows. Pronouns he, him. Class, vampire. Background, Urdu, where? Alignment, chaotic, neutral, and the fool. But what about my cape? Where did you last see your cape? Don't even bother. The lost cause. We looked everywhere on our way here. Bought cursed chests, many-eyed monstrosities, undead goons. And I started to wonder where in his life did this man put his cape? Where everyone puts their cape. Do you know where I put me capes? Where? In a wardrobe. Oh. So you can wear it inside the wardrobe land? What? No. Kyle, maybe we could find someone to retrieve your cape for you. We could. Phenomenal. I could put out a quest for you. But for that, we'd need a little more information. Good luck with that. First, I'd need to know where you last saw your cape. I was getting ready to go to the annual vampire banquet hosted by Lord Strut in Peruvia. While getting dressed, I realized I couldn't find my cape. My first thought, of course, I cannot find it. The cape of visibility is playing tricks on me. It's quite moody sometimes. Which is truly unfortunate when you want to wear it for an important event. We all know how important a fancy cape is for flaunting your vampire status. Of course. Then what was the last vampire event you wore the cape to? My wedding. Your wedding? When I married my sweet Evelyn, I simply had to wear my most treasured cape to show how important she was to me. Evelyn, the vampire countess Evelyn residing in Merrill Castle. That would be her. Congratulations. Are you still married? Vampire last saw his cape on his wedding day before he was wed to Countess Evelyn. Of course not. I hate her. Every inch of her body. Turns out she just wanted... Spit it out, leech. Oh. What? My cape. Oh, rats, here we go again. My sweet Evelyn stole my cape. What now? That little mean, vicious, beautiful beast, her. That thief of thieves robbed me of my most precious possession. Wouldn't that be your heart? No, I had that taken out centuries ago, but my cape, I could never live without that. Oh, sweet, sweet Evelyn. How could you do this to me? I trusted her with all I had. That's rough, buddy. Perhaps, innkeeper, that's your name, right? Sure. No. Oh, my deepest apologies. What is it then? I don't think it's the time for that yet. Names are valuable currency, after all. For some types, indeed. But you mustn't be so mysterious to a new friend. All my friends call me innkeeper. Ah, in that case, I shall not disrespect your wishes. Well then, innkeeper, do you think there's a courageous adventurer out there brave enough to retrieve my precious cape for me? I'm afraid that my sweetest Evelyn will kill me on sight if I ever set foot in her villa again. Yes, I think we can find such an adventurer. We're setting up that search right now. So, where could a brave adventurer find Marrow Castle? Deep past the abyss of a dread, at the foot of a mountain range that looks like a witch's bosom, towers the mansion of my dear Evelyn, Queen of Darkness, Temptress of Men, Flamenco champion of 1467. The right hero should be able to outsmart her and escape with their life. But be wary, she bites. And she may be invisible now. Alright, I think I've got everything I need. I'll write a request for you. I'm sure you'll have your cape back in no time. I hope so. That reminds me. Oh, the Northern Republic. The Republic of Fosoa is Fosoa's primary nation. It is graphically and culturally divided by a large mountain range of the Dulvamur stretching out over a significant portion of the continent. The Republic's western side is so expansive it is divided into a northern and southern half. The Northern Republic is full of lush forests and mangroves. Coastal cities are important trading hubs for the islands in the west. Near the highlands, even further north, are the more fearsome mountains, a giant and fairly dangerous mountain range to explore, partly due to the semi-regular volcanic activity. Well, I can read that later. Not another cursed monologue. Quickly, another drink. I don't think I can make it through another's tail woe without some artificial stamina. I need another lagoon. I'll see what I can do. Some liquid stamina for a valued guest. Let me try. You gotta write again. I might even last till day for this. Kyle, would you like another drink as well? No, I cannot drink now that I'm consumed with thoughts of my love's betrayal. Oh, it ails me so. Everything ails you. The whole way here, you were to complain about having to walk. My bad form doesn't work like it used to. I'm out of practice and the slime weighs heavily on my shoulders. And my back is all itchy. By the dragons, could it be because you insisted on sunbathing? Oh, alright. Innkeeper! You have a drink to protect me from the sun. But it's something that would also moisturize my delicate skin. I'm afraid not. Oh. That reminds me. My aunt Matilda used to harness the power of a chimera saliva for sun protection. A chimera? The one thing that stands a chance against the grueling curse of the sun is chimera saliva. Apparently, source Aunt Matilda, the vampire. A thing, a beast made out of several animals. Got 3 heads and all, made by the dragons Gaia. Likes to eat people for breakfast. I'm aware, I just didn't know its life could be so useful. If only I hadn't eaten that delectable bear chimera in the Scarlet Caves, I could have asked for a sample of its saliva. I'm sure that would have gone over well. Actually, I might know where to find one. Really? Will you get it for me then? No. Oh. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Miss Frostgrip, dearest Rhea, perhaps we can alter our deal. Oh, nay. Forget it, I ain't going. With nothing on me but a shovel and an oozgo, I'd be no match for such a beast. No problem, I can make it another quest from my trusted board. And when will it be done? And his marvels, he was once married to Lady Evelyn, a vampire countess residing in Merrill Castle, and if sunbathing maybe it's had too much. I would love to create more quests, but apparently it won't let me. As soon as a fearless adventurer picks it up and succeeds, especially that part. Splendid. Splendid. Did you hear that? A quest just for me. Let's leave it at 2. Saying keep while we're wait for someone to do his work for him. Do you perhaps have a room or 2? Possibly a room without sunlight. Wouldn't want Snow White to go up in flames over here. Sure thing. I've got a couple of barred up rooms. You can stay there. How much? You can pay when you leave. Grand. Seems like they gave you more personality than usual. Keep it up. Maybe you'll become a real person one day. Thank you. Enjoy your stay. You too, tasty creature. Ah, so at the end I can make my own quest. I see. Deep in the Quagmire Grove resides a wyvern chimera. Its scales and claws are a valuable treasure to any alchemist. Its saliva even more so. As it happens, a certain vampire may be able to use a rare saliva to produce a sunscreen so effective that even he could walk in broad daylight. Is there any adventurer or mouse brave enough to confront the beast, the chimera, not the vampire, and bring back to a bucket of saliva? Hey there, Evelyn. On a mild summer morning, a senile vampire came to look for his cape of invisibility. At the Wayfarer's Inn, after steady questioning, the innkeeper uncovered that he lost his cape at his wedding, where his ex-wife, Countess Evelyn, stole it from him. He resides at the foot of the Witch's Wrath Peak, ventures to the peak and dare to retrieve the long-lost cape, but be aware, she might be invisible. Boo. Sweep, sweep, magical, and whoosh. Act 1, The Wayfarer's Inn. Number 3, New Friends and Former Enemies, 59th of the Wake. My shipment of infusions arrived this morning. I now have access to some fey crystals and frozen pine cones. Together with the Fables Phoenix chilies, I have 3 infusions now. I'll unpack them later when I have some time. I have a feeling they'll be of use soon. Diplomacy is key. So, Inky, a drink for me and this lanky pal. It's good to see you too, Care.
She meant to say please.
Welcome back, Fable. You look alive.
Thank you, I am.
That seems like a given. I'm just happy to see them doing well and with a friend. We ain't friends.
We're not?
So you two didn't form a party? No.
Oh.
Then what's the drink about? They may be very annoying, but they did just help me solve a family feud of 10 years. So I do owe them some of your dishwater. At the very least. Family feud.
I wouldn't call it a feud. More of a miscommunication.
No, it was a feud.
I feel like a feud implies a certain level of hostility.
I was going to kill him.
I thought that was a joke.
It wasn't.
Oh.
But no one died. No, Elfie here was able to prevent that. It's Fable. Whatever. Does this perchance have something to do with your quest?
It does. I stopped her from killing the werewolf.
Elaborate, please. I was going to kill the werewolf. They stopped me from killing the werewolf. What's not to get? A lot.
I think they were confused because the quest was to save the villagers from the werewolf. And now it sounds like I saved the werewolf from you. Which I did. Kind of.
I also remember you saying you didn't want the quest, Care. I didn't. Was there by chance?
They were both stealing sheep.
Was not.
Sure was.
Adventuring don't pay what it used to.
So you steal other people's sheep?
Mind your own business. How did any of this lead to a successful quest?
Well, where do I start?
How about at the beginning?
Right, I was born on a half-crescent dreaming moon.
Of the quest, Fable.
Right, the quest. The quest. Probably there was no trouble. I know enough shortcuts to travel through the Ashen Grove swiftly. I reached the borders of Triggerin right around dusk. The Ashen Grove thins out around there, and you can catch a glimpse of the wide fields and vineyards as well as see one farm after the other. An idyllic sight, well, at least before sunset.
Do you have trouble in the dark?
Emotionally,
Visually?
a little. I mean, I reckon I could still see more than a human could, but darkness is darkness, and I'm no owl.
Thank God, you're already weird enough. Imagine the damage you'd do if you could turn your head all the way around.
Who says I can't? Just kidding. Anyway, luckily darkness doesn't affect my hearing.
Not the normal kind.
What?
Nothing.
Okay. Heard a creaking fence and footsteps that were failing at keeping quiet.
Your ears are failing at being small. Your ears are failing at being small.
So, I snuck a little closer and I saw a werewolf S-shape picking up a tiny sheep.
I was petting it.
Well, I thought she was going to eat it, so I summoned up all my courage and I stepped out of the shadows and I said, "Good evening, werewolf. Please put down the sheep." I didn't expect them to be entirely in their right mind, of course, but I wanted to be polite. I thought it might confuse her and maybe that would help her calm down.
It confused me, alright. Who the heck sees a werewolf? the first thing they do is greet them.
A polite person?
Or an insane one.
It worked, didn't it?
Because I ain't no werewolf.
He wasn't that different. But I'm skipping ahead. To my surprise, instead of a growl, the werewolf, or not werewolf, responded with a what? So the confusion plan had worked, but I hadn't really expected that response. So I said again, please put down the sheep. And she asked, why? And I said, well, because stealing sheep isn't very nice. And she asked who I was.
No, I asked, who are you? A god?
I was about to introduce myself when we heard this blood-curdling howl. It sounded like someone had ripped a hole into the fabric of reality and pierced it with a horrid yell.
Please, it was barely a bark.
And it made the blood freeze in my veins, heard panting and heavy footsteps, and I barely dared to turn around.
You turned around immediately.
And when I did, I stared into the twisted face of a werewolf, yellow, gleaming eyes.
Gleaming with jaundice.
Sharp teeth, giant claws. He looked like he wanted to eat me right up.
He did.
But before I could beg for mercy, suddenly something rushed past me and lunged at the werewolf. When I regained my composure, Carolyn and the werewolf were on the ground, fighting tooth and nail.
And the sheep you were holding? Obviously, I set it down at that point. Good. So you went to Fable's aid? No, that ain't it. I noticed the wolf's flannel rags. They were blue, checkered, and it had an uneven print. Just like the kind of stuff Uncle Dragon likes to wear, that old... bloop. Hey, why can't I say that? Bloop. What the... bloop. Youth protection. Youth protection. The age rating system is quite harsh. Bloop. Ah. Anyway, it was just like Uncle Dragon. Smelled like Uncle Dragon. Fought like him too. I was joking when I brought it up before, you know. I haven't seen that old man in years, was copping about by joking. That's the only way I could talk about him these days. Because of the feud? Yes. He used to be my favorite uncle, but then he changed. Became irritable and angry, distant, fought a lot with Uncle Fedor. Cared more about the moon than he did his own family. Eventually he just left, ran away without a word. Left us and Uncle Fedor behind, worried senseless. So we found a letter saying not to look for him and all their life savings missing. Swore I was gonna kill him if I ever saw him again. Always thought he just couldn't face up to his problems. Turns out his solution was just to get those problems as far away from everyone as possible. Idiot. Did you talk it out with your fists? I tried, but Elfie stopped me. Glad they did. How did you figure that out?
Well, she was yelling at him. I didn't understand half of it, but I could tell she was angry and hurt. I tried to get their attention by telling them to stop, but they wouldn't listen, so I shot an arrow right next to both of their heads. My aim was a little shaky, so I did end up grazing Mr. Dragon's ear. But I got them to stop for long enough to start listening to me. I threatened them that if they didn't stop to talk, I would shoot them both. I would have never done that, of course. But they must have believed me. Because they actually stopped to listen.
Looked mighty scary there, little pal.
Thank you. I sat them down and did my best to an insurmountable obstacle between them. If they wanted to fight, they would have gone through me. They would have to go through me.
That sounds rather dangerous. Wouldn't have stopped for them.
What?
You're the size of a stick. You think you could stop two angry wolves?
Oh, well, anyway. I used the opportunity to figure out what was going on. And that's how I found out about Mr. Dragon and Carolyn and the miscommunication.
Feud.
The feud, sure. Turns out that after Mr. Dragon was turned, he was too ashamed to admit it. But he couldn't stop the changes and ended up hurting all the people he cared about. That was no excuse, of course.
No, it ain't. If we hadn't known, we'd have helped him best we could. At the very least, would have built a sturdy shed with scratch-proof walls for full moons.
He didn't think that would have happened, though. So he decided to fix the problem by leaving, deal with it alone, and so on. But that only made it worse. Of course, he was too embarrassed to come back, so just focus on the whole werewolf thing and not any human things or Vukakin things, so to speak. Trying to find a cure, trying to avoid the moon, trying to find a place to sleep, stealing sheep. That's something they have in common.
The sheep.
No, the stubbornness and the unwillingness to ask for help. But the sheep too. But they had to talk about it. That silent resentment wasn't good for either of them.
And you got them to do that. The little stick is oddly persuasive, and had us talking about it before I even realized I didn't want to. Maybe because you did want to. Maybe. How did it go? Fine. We'll take some time to accept his apology. We'll have to see him change first and apologize to Uncle Vidor and the rest. But it was good to see him again. Guess a hug did feel better than a greatsword in his gut. Wonderful.
Of course, there's still the problem with the whole werewolf thing.
Idiot got so obsessed with the cure he still can barely control himself.
We helped him realize that even a cure couldn't change what he'd done. That he has to accept he's different now and learn how to live again. Of course, it won't be easy. No change ever is. And that from you. But we have a group of werewolves living near our settlement. A small community that enjoys the company of warm trees. We play charades with them a lot. And they taught me about the phases of the 7 moons and the secrets of the moon signs.
That sounds like a bunch of... bloop.
It's real. You're Crescent Moose. We introduced Mr. Dragon to them, and they promised they would take him in and help him deal with his lycanthropy.
That sounds great.
It is. It's a happy ending.
I wouldn't call it an ending, rather the beginning of something new.
So the end of one's adventure is just the beginning of another one?
Exactly.
I like that. So
after your heroic therapy session, you two decided to grab a drink together. God offered to spend the day at the settlement, but they don't serve anything strong enough for my taste. Plus, Elfie was dying to get back here. Was talking about how they need to update you all on everything non-stop. Would think they live here or something.
I had to report back about the quest.
I'm glad you did. They also started crafting something with the werewolves. Huh. Said something about it being for you and keep. Oh, really?
Yeah. It's not finished yet, but I'll let you know, I promise.
That wasn't hard, was it?
Well...
So, a drink. What can I offer you, Care? Surprise me with something that fits my brawn. By which I mean, make me the usual. Strength never gets old. I see. A smidge of that and a smidge of that. Undo. Surprise. Not bad. You should do this professionally. I'll think about it. Fable, what about you?
Do you have something that will calm me down? Maybe even bring some of my agility back? Like a swift strike back to my senses? Had a stressful day. Night, morning, sequence of events.
I see. Ding. Here you go.
Thank you. Wow, this is perfect.
You look tired. Have you considered sleep? They do look like they're gonna pass out at any second. So do you.
Maybe sleep is a good idea. Carolyn, do you have a place to sleep?
I can sleep anywhere. It's talent. It's depressing. I have a room available. You can stay there. Sounds good. How much? I'll count it as payment for your help with the quest. Fine. Fine. Later, Elfie.
See you later.
Are you heading home, Fable?
Yes, I've been gone for the whole day. Need to get back and make sure everything is still growing correctly.
Maybe take a nap first.
Yes, that too.
Did you enjoy your first quest?
I did. It was scary and different from what I expected. And I didn't know I was so good at pretending to be charming.
Have you considered that you weren't pretending? Yes, very good job. Maybe you should order that drink more often.
I'll think about it. I hope that wasn't my only adventure.
I think this is just the beginning.
That would be nice. Do you think I'm going to save the world one day?
That's a very tall order.
You're right. I'm not cut out for that.
I didn't say that. I would just prefer it if the world didn't end.
Right.
But if it does, you're the first person I'd ask for help.
Maybe you should ask Carolyn first, but I'd be happy to be second.
We'll see.
Let's hope we won't. I like this world, and you have a point. We shouldn't hope for such a calamity. Even if it would make for a good song.
Or a sad one.
Or both. I'm going to head home now.
Do that. I'll stock up on quests for you.
I can't wait. See you soon.
See you soon. My, you're here late. Good evening to you too. This quest, it wasn't here yesterday. That is correct. It seems dangerous. It is. And mysterious. And mysterious. Sure. Like me. You could be a little less mysterious by telling me your name. Zephyr. Did the wind carry you in? No. My legs. I want that quest. Well, you can have it. Not just literally, physically. Emotionally. Emotionally. I want to take on that quest. Go to the castle. Get the cape. Yes. Well, no one has gone to the castle yet. So if someone would like to go, they would be welcome to. So you know the castle? Yes? It seems strange. It is. Vampire lives there. I heard rumors, whisperings, of a strange fiendish woman residing there. What a coincidence, me too. Has she ever frequented your tavern? No, not recently. But she has. Once, had a vampire mixer. Interesting. So, she was only here at night? Yes. Would you say she was unnaturally pale? No, she had a lot of makeup on. But below that mask. Sure, yes, which gets she looks pretty dead below that. What kind of drink did she order? Blood. Interest. You sell blood? Of course. Whose blood? Did you hear about the wolves avoiding the castle? Really? All of them? Yes, and she has a lot of werewolf traps set up. All animals seem to steer clear of Merrill Castle. They say its doors are always locked, so nothing can go inside or leave. Anything that tries to merges into her land in one way or another. As a grave, a pile of decorative bones, dirt feeding rotting flowers. They say death clings to her doorstep like an everlasting melody. Sounds like a strange place, like a tomb for something alive. Or for a goth. Goth or vampire, she seems to be a thief. It appears so. You cannot sympathize with that. Thievery is an honorable skill, but it must be performed in secret. Or you're not worth the coins you pocket. Also, stealing a man's cape is just plain rude. I suppose. Only thing worse than that is stealing a man's hat. Not if it's cursed. Especially then. Point is, you can't defend yourself from having your trophies reclaimed. You must live with the consequences. The consequences being you? Exactly. Definitely sounds like you know what you're doing. Of course I do. I am one with the shadows and the wind, gone before they even notice I'm there. So you could easily swipe something else along with this cape, right? Certainly gold, gemstones, other treasures. Whatever pays the bills. What about some interior decorations? Like what, for example? Just something to pretty up my tavern a bit. Maybe something useful that also doubles as decoration. Like a chair? Stealing a whole chair sounds a little too ambitious for your first quest with me. I prefer something smaller, like a little trinket. My walls are still a bit empty. Wait, are you being serious? Absolutely. A memento that once belonged to an eccentric vampire sounds like a wonderful addition to the tavern. I'll see what I can do. You won't be disappointed. Well then, I trust you deliver yourself to her doorstep and the cape back to me. Along with a neat little addition to my interior design. Sounds like I'll need a few stamps. Would you like some? No, too traceable. How about a drink then? I could do with one of those. I heard your drinks inspire transformations of great magnitude. Allow you to dip into parts of yourself that you weren't previously aware of. Raise yourself up from your shadow. Say, what do you trade them for? Secrets? Secrets? How about a joke? Secrets. Secrets. I have many. Grant me one. I shall. I know this may come as a shock to you, but I was here before, just yesterday. You may not remember because you barely noticed me in the shadows. I was so stealthy, I spent hours just watching you from afar. That is definitely a secret. You cleaned a lot of the glasses, served everyone with a smile. You looked so worried after the adorable green one left, like you thought they might trip straight into a monster's maw. And you're swift with your hands and fast with the knife. Alright, enough secrets. May I have one of my renowned drinks. Some of my renowned infusions. In fact, I just got a fresh shipment today. Was finally able to unpack them. Infusions? Intriguing. What vile magic do you have to offer? For your purposes, I think you could benefit from either fake crystals or a frozen pine cone. Frozen pine cones have absorbed some of nature's icy properties. They can help you form a magical frost barrier that will hurt those trying to harm you. The fairy crystals hail straight from Avalon, allegedly. If consumed, they'll turn you invisible, eventually, and for a bit, the duration is a bit unpredictable. I've also got some phoenix chilies, but I don't think those would be very useful for your situation. Interesting. So, what dark depths of yourself are you willing to explore? I fear that Lady Evelyn may be of the undead nature, so I must be strong and vigorous. If I want my stake in her heart before her fangs are near my neck. Though that does sound appealing. Strength I can do, and some frost armor should help with the fangs. Perhaps smarter would be to evade her wrath entirely, to out-stealth her and steal the cape from right under her pale nose, so that she may lie in the shame of having lost against me. I think such an approach would require a certain amount of dexterity, and some invisibility could help with staying unseen should my speed and agility not be enough. Help me with the decision and keep your wisdom is no secret, is it? Now that I have access to infusions, I have to be careful of how they interact with other ingredients. Am I also drink in a way where I have to use different ingredients than usual? I should make sure to keep an eye on the coaster's shape, so that I mix the correct recipe. Maybe I should even try adding an infusion first and adjust the drink from there. Let's give it a try. It is sometimes hard to tell which ones are magical ingredients and which ones are just regular frozen pine cones. Either way, they get the job done. Frost armor is the ultimate solution when it comes to protection against anything, whether physical or magical. They're cold, but nothing a blanket can't fix. Fey crystal, much like the playful Fey, they are named after Fey crystals. Deceive. They're not usually actually crystals, but magical plants handmade by sea sages, wishing to share their magical gifts with the world. Invisibility. Invisibility is the perfect aid for stealth quests as well as hunting, very helpful for avoiding fights entirely. And the phoenix chili. The rare phoenix chili is found natively Only near the charred valleys of the burning peaks, though. An invasive species, it is delicious. Fire resistance is great when fighting enemies that wish to burn you to ashes. Helps a bunch when fighting draconic creatures, but does not protect against lava. Interesting. And then my recipes. I see. The recipe that I would like. I see. Here you go. A drink that all vampires fear. Garlic breath? Not quite. But that's a good name. May I steal it? You don't ask. You don't ask for permission before you steal something and keep. Then it's no longer a clever ruse, but a mere trade. I see. Did you hear about my new drink, the garlic breath? Ah, good one. Tastes like not garlic, but just as fearsome to a vampire. You don't find garlic. Kin Erica. 25. Pronouns he, they, class rogue, background Themis, alignment chaotic good, arcana the moon. No, only the absence of it. A mix of two of us. Hopefully this will help me evade her. I'm not prepared for a fight, but I don't need one if my steps are as swift and quiet as the wind. Then she can't see me. Goodbye, Innkeep. I would say pray that the sun will carry me back to you. But my hopes do not lie with the Realm Keepers, and I shall be damned if they control my fate. Expect to see me again after the next sunfall. If you do not, speak of vengeance. Vengeance makes for an early grave. Or for a good story. Farewell. Zephyr is a difficult character to say the least. They're so caught up in their own fantasies of an edgy rogue that they seem to be stuck talking or brooding like one who he likes all things dangerous and mysterious, or at least he pretends he does. I'm taking this quest and a drink. Great. Did you sleep well? What? Sleep. How was it? Fine. Too long. Didn't sleep that much in ages. Sounds like you needed it. No, your beds are just too comfortable. It was hard to get up. Of course. My apologies. I'll make sure to take your feedback into consideration. Would you like a drink as compensation? Think I already said that. Make me something strong that will wake me up and keep me up too. Some more of that. I feel like adding just a little bit of the spice and picante in that. So why not? Ding. Let's make it a little bit extra. Something strong coming right up. That is strong. Just the right amount of too much. Maybe I should call this drink the Carolyn. No, you shouldn't. Anyway, the quest. Yes, the quest. I'm taking it. So you said. I see. It is my turn to make conversation. I miss Fable. Isn't it a bit too soon for another quest you just returned? It has been hours since I've done anything but sleep, chat, and drink. I'm getting antsy. If I sit still for too long, it feels like my bones are disintegrating, and I forget who I am. I think that's called boredom. It's torture. That too. Well, boring is not what I would call this quest in the slightest. Stealing from a chimera for a vampire sunscreen couldn't get more reckless than that. It could, by taking Elfie along. Fair point. Please don't. I won't. So the saliva is for the vampire? For a vampire? Vampire sunscreen. Can't a vampire get their chimera to goo themselves? It's a wyvern chimera. Vampires and fire don't mix too well. Also, if everyone just did their own guess, the quest economy would be in shambles. Suppose that'd be terrible for your business. Indeed. Have you ever encountered a chimera before? No, not a real one. Got me thinking, ain't it kind of blasphemous to steal from a draconic guardian? Depends. Are you religious? Guess not. Then no. Would it be if I was? Don't think so. Chimeras steal riches all the time, and they were created to be guardians by the protectors of the realms. So, stealing something to protect someone else seems in line with the doctrine. Huh. Good thing you ain't a priest, you do a piss poor job. Thank you. Is blasphemy what you're most worried about? I ain't worried. Okay. Nervous. Ain't that either? Then what is it? Excitement, I suppose. Excitement. Don't laugh. I'm not laughing. I'm asking. Ah! Yes, excitement. I've never encountered a guardian before. And I've always sort of wanted to. Why haven't you? It ain't exactly easy to find one, or to survive one. This seems like a great opportunity for you then. It is. What is it about guardians? It's less about the guardian, more about what created it. And maybe a little about the chimera. It's got a dragon head, right? Yes, modeled after its creator, I would guess. So, let me rephrase that. What is it about dragons and chimeras with dragon heads? Oops. So let me rephrase that. What is it about chimeras and dragons and chimera heads? They're cool. Also, when I was little, my Baba used to tell me bedtime stories about the dragons every night. She was a great adventurer and encountered many of their creations on her journeys. I'm not sure if it's true, but she always claimed she met each of the realm keepers themselves. I had little keepsakes from them and all. My sword's one of those, passed it on to me before she left. One day she was just gone. I think she wanted to spend her last moments somewhere else. Like to think she visited one of her dragons one last time. Your family has a leaving problem. Carolyn's great sword once belonged to her grandmother. Allegedly, it's a gift from the dragons themselves. Very impressive if it's true. Oh. Oh, it's for the quest they show. Interesting. Your family has a leaving problem. At least she left our savings alone. That sword and her stories are all I have left of her. Going on this quest, it almost feels like I'm stepping into a memory of hers. Did she ever tell you about the wyvern chimera? No, was the only kind she ever encountered. Had quarrels with those feline ones, different varieties of scales, even a cow one, I think, but never found a wyvern one in all her years. It would have been nice to be able to tell her little story when I return. If I return. I'm sure you will. You can tell the story to me. I don't know if I make for a good baba, but I do enjoy a good tale. I'll think about it. You already got me talking too much. This is you talking too much? So, you like dragons? I do. I don't. I don't. What's wrong with you? Lots. I used to like them. And then what? Did they burn down your last inn? Wouldn't that be a story? No, I suppose I've just outgrown them. Humph. Weirdo. Do you pray to them, Care? No, I don't need their help. I don't need to rely on anyone, not even dragons. A little help never hurt anyone. A little self-reliance don't either. If you say so. Does that mean you don't want a drink to pep you up, Care? Didn't say that. I see. That doesn't count as help. It's prepayment for me taking on your quest. Sure. You'll be happy to hear that I have some incredible infusions to offer that could greatly help with your quest. Nah, that sounds unnecessarily complicated. Let's keep it simple. Alright, what can I get you then? I reckon a little bit of a boost for this body couldn't hurt. Heard they're quick and toothy, so I'll need to be too hardy for its bite. So defense might come in handy. Or something for the brain. Bubba talked quite a lot about how much they enjoy a good ruse. Maybe I can outsmart it with the right play. But I'd need some intelligence for that. Won't be risking it all on a bad idea. Are you sure you don't want any infusions? Just a little bit of phoenix chili would make you fire resistant. Just a little bit of phoenix chili would make you fire resistant. That could be very useful in a fight. Dragons, you're stubborn. Sure, I'll try one. On the topic of trickery. No, one is enough. Either you mix defense with your weird chilies, or you go heavy on the intelligence. Don't need any more of your fancy tricks. I don't care which one you pick. That's your job, figure it out. Interesting. So if I can't... Ah, I see. Either one or the other. Well, I see. I'll take this. Let's try an outsmarting ruse and see what happens. Figured it out. Thanks. I hope you seasoned it with some trickery. It does feel weird, like my brain is sparkling. No refunds. How urgent is the sunscreen? Pretty urgent. The sun tends to not take a break even for vampires. Maybe you should sunbathe less then. That might solve his problems. Might. But when has an easy solution ever been fun? Good point. I'll see what I can do. Maybe they got some mice in that mangrove. Good luck. Won't be needing it. I'll be waiting to hear of your exploits upon your return. There you go, Anbu. Magical sweeping. And the last candle for the day and the night. But I grow a little weary. It is a thing to end this thing we call mortal stream, and to close the tavern up for the night. I guess I can wrap this up like DJ would. Thank you, mortals, Nari and Nampy, for stopping by. And for anybody else who came to make an offering. I guess I appreciate it a little bit. If you see this on YouTube, thank you for watching. I guess. And if you want to see this live while I own my little tavern, feel free to come to Twitch and you might see me play this. But for now, I guess I can wish you to have a good time zone. Deuces.